You are an enthusiast. You love cars and you like them fast. So today we have the car that you want to see. It has nearly 500 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, a brilliant transmission, and an even better chassis. This is not a new BMW M3. In fact, it's not even German. No, the sports sedan of the day is decidedly American. It is the 2023 Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing. This is the sort of car that makes my job hard, because at the end of the week, they're going to come and they're going to take this car away, and I don't want them to take this car away. And if you also don't want them to take it away, then please remember to subscribe to the CarGurus YouTube channel. And if you need to make some room in your garage, maybe for a car like this, well, remember that you can now sell your car 100% online with CarGurus. We'll source an offer from our network of thousands of dealerships, and if you like that offer, we'll coordinate getting your car picked up and getting you paid. So please, do it for the Cadillac. If you want a small, moderately luxurious four-door sedan, you can buy a Cadillac CT4. It's athletic, handsome, and it starts under $37,000. But it has a four-cylinder engine, and you don't want that. You're an enthusiast. So instead, you buy this, the Blackwing, and it's immediately clear that this is not your average Caddy. First off, take a look at the body kit. Now be careful, don't scrape this, it's all one piece. Above that we have the grille, a dramatic piece of design, but it's unlikely to offend anyone, and I love how they've incorporated all these little V's into it. Wrapping around the front corners, these headlights carry Cadillac's distinctive styling to the Blackwing. In case you couldn't tell, our test car is painted electric blue for $625 extra. This is the color you paint your car when you want people to notice you. Other detail choices are more subtle, like these painted calipers, an extra $595, or these great bronze wheels, $1,500. You get what I'm saying. This car looks great, but looking great isn't cheap. The rear boasts this dramatic spoiler, but there's no Blackwing badge back here. That will be available later in the year. At the bottom edge, we have quad exhaust pipes, which lead us to the CT4-V Blackwing's best features, its power and its performance. When Cadillac debuted the CT4-V and CT5-V Blackwing, most of our attention did go to the 5, which is understandable. It makes 668 horsepower from a 6.2-liter V8 engine. It's insane, and it's unlike anything Cadillac has ever made before. But the 4 is no slouch, and I would argue that like the ATS-V that preceded the CT4, this one is probably even more fun to drive on a daily basis. God, just look at that thing. This has a 3.6-liter twin-turbo V6 that makes 472 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. It is, to quote, I believe William Shakespeare, stupid fast. With our car's 10-speed automatic transmission, it should hit 60 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds. With a manual, it is a touch slower, but just a touch, 4.1 seconds. Yes, you heard me right. You can get this car with a manual transmission. It comes standard with a 6-speed. The only other sports sedan on par with this one that can brag about that is the BMW M3, and that is not a vehicle that automakers take on lightly. That's because the M3 is a legend. It sets the bar, and it has set the bar for decades. Every once in a while, something comes along that can hold a candle for BMW, but usually not for long. The only bad adjectives, negative adjectives that you hear associated with the M3 are things like surgical or cold. You never hear slow, and you never hear bad. But let's focus on the vehicle at hand, because building a great sports sedan is more than just putting the right numbers on a piece of paper. And folks, with the CT4-V Blackwing, Cadillac has built a great sports sedan. This is rear-wheel drive only. There's no all-wheel drive version. Now, the steering is brilliant. It's beautifully well weighted, and the chassis, complete with the magneto-rheological bits that GM has put in a lot of its sports cars, it makes it, oh God, it's just perfect. Now, do I wish that this was a 6-speed manual transmission car? Sure. Sometimes when I don't have to drive in traffic, when I have great weather and a great New England back road, the 6-speed would be wonderful. I mean, tell us in the comments section below if you would prefer a manual or if you want a car like this with a quick shifting 10-speed auto. Before you do, please just know that this 10-speed auto really is excellent. It's incredibly quick to shift, and gear changes are almost imperceptible when driving in traffic. Fuel economy is garbage. I mean, this gets 16 mpg in the city, 24 on the highway, and that's with the auto. Luckily, this car also comes with a huge fuel tank. Best yet, you can customize so much of this car's responsiveness and feel. Cadillac pre-programs a selection of drive modes, and then there's V mode. I can change the steering, the suspension, the brake feel, shift characteristics, and the sound. I live in a quiet neighborhood, and I usually don't actually like to draw a lot of attention, particularly with the cars. But there's something about this CT4-V Blackwing. It like puts a little demon inside you that makes you just crave the noise, crave the exhaust note. Makes you think, I am not a good person. The CT4-V drives special, and thankfully, it looks special too, mostly. Our car is fitted with a beautiful natural tan and black leather upholstery. It has a little bit of red contrast stitching, not too much to bother me. And then the steering wheel is a nice, chunky, leather-wrapped, heated, really appreciate that today, piece. It's got this top center mark here. That's going to be especially valuable if you want to track or autocross your car. And then the buttons and the switches are really smart. They're logical. You press them, you know what it's going to do on the screen, and there's some fun stuff. So this switch over here, this is for your various traction management system settings, and then this button is for V mode. I love that it's just right there on the wheel. The seats themselves are a bit stiff and not exactly comfortable. They feel like they would hold up well over a long drive, but they're a little unforgiving if you're just shooting across town. And now, while I was actually able to fit my bicycle in the back of this car when I folded the rear seat down, cannot deny that the CT4-V Blackwing is a little tight on trunk space. It's not just smaller than the BMW M3's trunk, it's also smaller than the M2's. And similarly, you get less front seat headroom and less rear seat legroom in this car than you do in the M3. Truth be told, although this car definitely competes alongside the M3, it feels like it's sized somewhere between the 3 and the smaller 2. The most disappointing detail I can see here is Cadillac's unimpressive infotainment setup. This 8-inch screen is painfully familiar. Now, in some cars, familiar is good. It's easy to use, it's reasonably fast, it's reasonably crisp, but it's not befitting this car's stature. In a luxury performance sedan, I expect something that doesn't look quite so low rent. And now, however, my criticisms are only about the packaging. They're not about the information or the entertainment. We get wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, and the 15-speaker AKG stereo, it sounds good. GM's tech is simple, it's easy to use, and it's fine for doing what you need it to do. It's fine in a Buick. But look at this car, and look at the competition. This is not a Buick, and fine shouldn't cut it. One thing that is better than fine is Cadillac's digital instrument panel. It's 12 inches, customizable, easy to navigate, and I like how it changes based on the drive mode. You get an information-heavy display for tour mode, something that pares down the fluff and focuses on the performance details for sport and track, and then there's this switch to cut out all distractions. This isn't exactly a family car, so we'll understand if safety features aren't exactly top of mind, but there are a few here to talk about. The suite of advanced driver assistance systems, what Cadillac calls SMART, it comes standard and it includes automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection. It comes with a rear seat reminder, park assist. It also has lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert. However, it doesn't come standard with adaptive cruise control. You have to pay extra for that. Same with the head-up display and reverse automatic emergency braking. Most notably though, you can't get Cadillac Super Cruise technology in the CT4-V Blackwing. You can get it in a $30,000 Chevy Bolt, but you can't get it in this Cadillac. Cadillac has priced the 2023 CT4-V Blackwing at an MSRP starting at $60,495, but at least for the 2023 model year, it looks like semiconductor shortages and supply chain issues might limit some feature availability, and I would not be surprised if the majority of the inventory was priced well above that base figure. Not to mention, this car gets even more expensive pretty quickly. If you want the automatic transmission, well, that's another $2,000 right there, and the destination fee is $1,395. All told, our press car is carrying a whopping $14,770 worth of options. That brings the as-tested price to $76,660. So yeah, not 60 grand. But a brand new BMW M3 starts at about $73,000. And if you think that car won't get more expensive with a few options, I have a bridge to sell you. So even priced as this one is, it doesn't look obscene. I won't call it a deal, but I will acknowledge that this is a brilliant car, and brilliance shouldn't come cheap. Thank you for watching. We want to hear from you in the comments section below. Does Cadillac have a genuine M3 fighter on its hands? Would you buy the automatic transmission, or does it have to be a stick shift? And do you think that Cadillac should just let me keep this car? As always, be sure to subscribe to the CarGurus YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.